What's going on, everybody? So today's video I'm going to be talking about new Yu-Gi-Oh rules for the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. These are not official game rules per se, but these are new tournament policies. So whenever we're able to go back to real life events, or heck, for those of us who are able to go to locals, these are some things that can help us out. I'm going to go through everything that they listed here on the article. I'm going to have the article linked in the description below. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on them because there's some pretty cool things in here I think you guys need to know about. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. Without further ado, let's begin.
Ice on my wrist, looking kinda cool. Bad bitch with me, she ain't tryna move. Niggas staring at me, what you tryna do? Got me looking at my watch, and it's time to do.
Alright guys, so you guys can see right here, I have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Official KDE US trading card game tournament policy V2.1, uploaded to November 17th, 2020. So if you guys are watching this in the future, this one it was updated. I'm not going to read all the specific legal jargon. It's pretty much letting you know that they've updated things for the game. Alright, so we're going to go over preparing to play. This section discusses the roles of various attendees at an event, including what is required or is expected of them. Floor judge. What's changed? We have rewritten the examples of questions that can and cannot be answered using the same scenarios, looking at different kinds of questions being asked about the same set of interactions helps clarify the difference between what a judge can and cannot answer, what cannot be answered. What does this mean? While judges do not provide correct information, they should not provide strategic advice. Questions should be asked carefully and answered carefully to ensure does not happen. The updated examples should make it easier for a duelist to understand how to ask a judge questions they can answer, and easier to understand the correct way to impart information without coaching. That's pretty much common sense. Like when you call a judge over for a ruling, I guess I just wanted to clarify this a little bit better. I understand you guys want the interaction to go a specific way, but you can't ask them, would it be better to go this way, this way? You can't do that. So that makes sense. Scorekeeping. I was going to read over what's changed. I don't want to read every little detail. This video will probably be like 30 minutes long if I did that. What's changed? We have clarified that the scorekeeper must use a duelist's full name to register them for a tournament. They cannot use nicknames or short names. We have always required this, but it wasn't spelled clearly enough. I mean, who's going to go to a tournament with a nickname? Like, my name's not Waldo, it's Christopher. I'm not going to tell you guys my last name. If you guys can follow me on Facebook, you already know my last name, but I'm half Hispanic, so there you go. Media. This is for us YouTubers, YuGiTubers, or whatever. What has changed? We have further clarified and expanded requirements for media at a sanctioned event. What does this mean? There are specific requirements for media clearance at a tournament. Members of media must ensure they meet them. Make sure to read this through carefully if you're planning to attend an event. For my knowledge, I have not attended a YCS event recently that has a media area, but to my knowledge, it's just literally they tell them, go to the area, you're going to record in this area, that's it. Might hurt channels like mine as I blog, so I won't be able to get the inside of the room. However, having a little wall to record in is still pretty good in my personal opinion. Okay, section 2. Duelist responsibilities. This section covers expectations and requirements for duelists attending an event. We have added some new information to this section, as well as clarifying previous policy. Identification. What has changed? This section, again, refers to the use of your full legal name. Okay, whatever, that's making sense. Subsection E. Now, this is an important one. Neuron. For you guys that don't know what Neuron is, it is the app they came out with earlier this year. That is essentially a glorified, up until this point, a glorified calculator / deck holder. You can put your deck in there. It's pretty cool. I downloaded it, never used it. This is an entirely new section providing official policy for in-tournament use of Konami's smartphone app, Neuron. Because the biggest gripe was when this app first came out, a lot of players said, hey, we can't have our phones out during a game, so what's the point of you guys making this app? Well, Konami finally updated that. I guess they either made some updates to add offline functions that they use during a duel and listed and explained. None of the online functions of Neuron can be used during a duel at a sanctioned event. What does this mean? Neuron is quite useful. Duelists are encouraged to use it, but make certain you understand which functions are allowed during a duel and which are not. You should also take note of the requirements, such as paper of life points, changes with life points application in Neuron. essentially trying to say is we're gonna allow you to use Neuron, but we still prefer to use paper. That's pretty much what that is, which I think is a good thing, because I know honestly they're gonna make an official Konami app for life point taking. This is the perfect step just to move forward with that. So I think that's a good idea about Konami going on right there. Understanding policies, subsection G. We have updated a list of tournament policies, including aluminium, such as KDE. Okay, that's not really important. Unacceptable behavior. This is probably all common sense as well. We have updated a section for wearing masks or face covers. What does this mean? The change was implemented to accommodate health requirements in different areas. So hopefully with this updated thing, we may be able to get some form of big events, hopefully starting into next year. I don't see anything for this year. I was hoping we can get regionals around this time. I'm thinking March is where Konami America is looking to reach back up if this whole quarantine stuff worldwide calms down. I think we can get back to some competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'll be completely excited for, because I miss going to competitive tournaments. Proper unacceptable behavior. Okay, well I read that already. Proper attire. This new section detailing acceptable standards of clothing for sanctioned events. Duelists need to be properly dressed in sanctioned events. So I guess you can go look that up. Properly dressed. I mean, probably just like, I was gonna go ahead and assume this is just like, because I work in a corporate office, so my corporate job, nothing outrageous shirts that say boobies make me smile, for example, or if you're a girl, don't walk in the room with your booty cheeks out, or if you're a guy, no sagging of the pants, like little stuff like that. People gonna do it anyway, and the workers aren't gonna care, but they just have to have these to meet local government guidelines. Simple jargon. Okay, now these are the main things I want to talk about. Subsection D and subsection G. D, deck registration. This is huge. I completely mean huge. Neuron has been added as a way to register your deck. What does this mean? You can use the Neuron app to register your deck for a sanctioned event. However, there are some very specific requirements in order for you to do this. If you want to register your deck using Neuron, be certain you read the subsection and follow the instructions. I'm definitely going to read that once I get done making this video, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole lot of information about that. But essentially, this is huge for people like me who want to pre-reg for an event, or heck, if I want to go to a regionals and I don't feel like writing out my deck list, if I'm running late in my car, I can just go on Neuron, submit my deck list, and by the time I get to the tournament, pay for my entry and call it a day. The only thing that's gonna suck about this is in situations like that, like I live in the Midwest, when in the wintertime it gets cold, and sometimes at regionals we have people get stuck in bad weather due to traffic, because Yu-Gi-Oh players, we're gonna play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh in rain, sleet, or snow. I can literally see people pre-registering for an event and capping the event, getting stuck in traffic, resulting into a lot of players not showing up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and assume Konami's still probably gonna have some sort of time slot for us to get there, so that way once we get to the event, we don't just get booted out. But I have to figure that one out. That's tricky, but I'm big up for that. So shout out to Konami for doing that. That's really good, honestly. Can't beat that. Now the second thing, this is kind of a big deal, but not really. Players like me love, I've been doing this for years, and on a local level, we just can't do this at a big event because they'll tell you to stop. Sleeves. This change, many have been asking for, double sleeving is now allowed. What does this mean? Duelists may use one additional clear sleeve when sleeving their decks. There are some specific requirements for doing this, so read subsection as follows. You can start re-sleeving everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been a big fan of wanting to double sleeve for the longest now. Reason being, in the OCG, TCG, I'm gonna say TCG, and other card games, a lot of card games you can double sleeve, except Yu-Gi-Oh. Reason being, Yu-Gi-Oh's reason was for it. Back in the day, they said it'll be easier for people to cheat because they can keep a card behind the sleeve and just swap it whenever they want to do it. But that really doesn't matter, because if someone's gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat anyway. And honestly, double sleeving just makes your cards more protected. I feel like with as flimsy as Yu-Gi-Oh cards are nowadays, and with the lack of quality Konami's been pitting into making their product, double sleeving is a requirement. Like, Konami been doing good, and honestly, this is a good idea. Like, something that should have been going on for a while, but in TCG we haven't had double sleeving, so thank you. Tournament materials, paper and pencil must be keep a written record of scores for duels. That's nothing big, but I feel like most people do that anyway. Note taking. What has changed? Note taking has been amended to include tracking of effects or actions which are necessary to maintain a legal game state. This does not mean you can take notes on absolutely everything. Slow pay penalties will apply if you take too long to write your notes. Also, clarified notes must be written. So essentially this is saying, like, if you have a chain link, you want to write down chain link 1, Grapha, chain link 2, Dark Law, something like that. Whatever you want to do, writing chain links down. But as far as writing down what your opponent has in their hand, like if you smoke grenade them, look in their hand, take a card out, you can't use that. Which is, honestly, this is good. I feel like it's gonna allow players to take advantage of the time rule, which I don't like. And players still will be able to manipulate the note taking and still write down people's hands with their memories, because I can literally see people having their notes on a little piece of paper, keeping it to themselves. And then if you see something they wrote down, you can call a judge. That's just messy. I think, honestly, give us notes or just take notes away. Don't do both. I think note taking should be a thing. I mean, I'm not against it, so it is what it is. Subsection 0, loops. This pretty much explaining, I guess, if you got caught like a wind up hand loop or an infinite combo, make sure you have it summoned for loops, which is, yeah, whatever. Side decking, they said nothing has changed. Card legality. Section covers about cards being legal. Subsection G, what has changed? Text errata. We have reorganized information and added Neuron as a source of updated card text. So that's good as well. So now when you go to an event and your opponent says, hey, does that card have an errata? I think the card has an errata. Instead of arguing and bickering about the ruling, pull up the app, done. Thank you, Konami. This is going to save a lot of players the frustration of doing this. So that's pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Subsection G, foreign cards. Now this is going to be huge for people that like to bling out your decks and use foreign cards. I'm not a fan of foreign cards, never have been. But for you people that like to use foreign cards, this is going to be good. We have added Neuron as a source of translations, meaning you can duelists can use the camera search function to provide card translations. Now that's huge. That's going to be huge, because instead of people doing this early 2000s tactic of printing out a card text with you or having another copy of it with you, you can just get the card that you need, Neuron it, and there you go. Now I can actually go to an event with a card that's not with a foreign card and not have to worry about arguing with somebody what the card does. I liked it a lot. Keep it coming, Konami. You're on fire right now. Give us cash prizing. You're going to be #1 card game. Right now, you're still going to be stuck at #2. And last, subsection M, cards with translation errors. This is a new section clarifying that translation errors, if any, do not change how a card will work. What does this mean? Duelists should use English language text in the card database as a basis for card stats or effects if there is a difference in how a card is worded in a different language. We are excited about this update to the document. I hope you found this article very helpful. Okay, whatever. That's just telling you, just trying to get you ready and stuff. But essentially, they're just going to have an updated section for translation errors, which is a good thing as well, because sometimes card effects work differently over in the OCG versus they do in the TCG. Obviously, big takeaways from these new tournament policies / rules is the Neuron app is fire. I love the fact that you're going to be able to just finally get translations for cards. So even if I'm playing against somebody who has a foreign deck, instead of asking them for their translation, holding the game set up, watching them get irritated, watching me get irritated because they're irritated, pull out my phone, Neuron app, search the translation, and go from there. I also love the fact I can double sleeve, and I also like the fact that literally you can pull up rulings on the Neuron app. They literally said it right here. And the deck registration. I think the deck registration is the most underrated thing from this list. Looking on Facebook, everyone's talking about, oh my god, you can double sleeve, which is cool, but deck registration, bro, that's the banger. So tell me what you guys think about this video. The comments down below. I'm uploading this video today on the 17th because I'm taking some of you guys' advice. I posted a poll in my post in my community tab, asked you guys, you know, honest opinion on my channel. Some of you guys said, hey, try uploading videos before everyone else does. And so far, as the filming of this video, no one else has uploaded this video. So hopefully I can get it up before everyone else. If not, it's all good. I appreciate you guys that are watching me. If y'all who that's been rocking me for a while, it's your boy YuGiOh signing out. Peace.